All right, so good morning, and this is my submission for assignment 3 lab exercise for Comp 3122 Applied Data Science. My name is Jai Kumar. My student ID is 101236674. So, first of all, we import the libraries, pandas and numpy that I'll be using in the project in the assignment. Now, for the number one, we have to import the data frame. So from the test file that is here, we'll import the data frame. The test one is the file that I have created with my name and student ID on the top, and we use the header none because it does not have any header. Now we'll show the first 5 entries. Now, as we don't have the names of the columns, we'll define them ourselves and put them into columns. So let's go. And as you can see, we can see the column names now. So for question 4, I was supposed to add my name to the top of the CSV file. So I did that, and it will show in the given table. See, that's my name and my student ID. Now for number 5, I have to skip that row with my name and student ID so we can move further in the assignment. Also, I'll be naming the columns that we gave before. So let's go. So these are the values with the column names. Now the type of my DF is a data frame, and yes, it is. So the two ways we can use to display the value series is the one with the dot and the one uh, with the square brackets. So the first one that is used is more object oriented because it is picking up the object value from the my data frame. And let's go. This is the output. The type of value is obviously series. And for number 9, we cannot use the second method here, the first method, sorry, the object oriented one, because for zip code and machine type it'll give error because it has a space in between. Even if we add semi uh, inverted commas on the top of it, it still does not show the fields and it gives us an error. For number 10, we had to create a new series named brand, which included machine type and zip code. So let's go. And as you can see, we created brand. Now for the another series that we had to create total for for number 11, we had to multiply the range and the values. And as you can see, this is the total here. Now, oh yes, let's see the first 5 values on number 12. And yeah, number 12, we had to run some commands. So these are the first 5 values. This is the description of it, the count, the mean of the integer values in there. So this one and this one has a difference of parentheses, which means that this one is a bound statement and it displays the data frame that we have on our hand. So the shape is 951 into 7, so 951 rows, 7 columns, and the data types of the fields is as follows. Now the functions without parentheses are bound to the data frame, while the other ones, the ones with the parentheses, are the commands to the data frame, like there are functions and they iterate over the data frame. So difference between B and C is the same. Number 13, yes, we can describe the functions on objects also by adding this line right here, include object, and here's the output. For number 14, we had to rename the column ID to my ID. So it changes it in this iteration, but originally it does not change the name of the ID because we did not use in place. So ID is still here. Now for number 15, we had to change the ID column to my ID permanently. So I use the in place, which is true. So it'll leave that to be true. Let's run that. And you can see my ID is now permanently my ID. Now for the next one, we had to view the columns, and this is the list of columns. For number 17, these are the new column names that we have, and we had to input them into the columns. So the new names can be seen right here. Now for number 18, we had to change the space in the column names with an underscore, and so I use the string function of replace, and here it goes. You can see machine type and zip code have changed. Now we had to drop these last two fields or columns permanently. So access 1 means the columns, and in place true, it means we are permanently deleting these two series or columns from our data frame. And for number 20, we had to drop the third and the fifth row. So as the numbering starts from 0, so it's 0, 1, 2 is the third one, and 4 is the fifth one. Access 0 here means we are removing the rows, and this means we are permanently deleting them. So as you can see, we cannot see the second, like the index number 2 and index number 4, which means third and fifth column, or the row, sorry. So now for number 1, we had to sort the value series and display only value series. And in this one, we had to sort value series, but we had to display the whole data frame. Here it is. Now we'll be sorting value permanently, and this is the resulting output. See, value is 10, and now we had to sort the values relating to two indexes. The first one is range, and second one is value. So for range, we had to sort it in ascending order, and for value we had to sort in descending order. And as you can see, we have it in ascending order. The range is in ascending order, while the values, as you can see, the range, if the ranges are equal, the values are in descending order. For number 25, we had to find the values in which the range is between 250 and 350. So these are the values, these are the rows that we have. And now we also want to sort the values according to the range so that we can view the data more precisely. So it starts from 250 and ends at 350 now. And for number 27, we had to only display these two columns, the ID and the value columns. So we'll be using the lock function of the pandas, and it'll show us only the ID and the value. And for the next one, we had to see the ID, value, and machine type, while also putting a condition that the machine type should be H. So this is the resulting data set. Now for the next question, we had to display the whole data frame, but we had multiple values for machine types. So I used the isIn function, which shows the values if the machine type is either H, R, or X. So let's check it out and see H, R, and X, no other machine values. Now for the last one, we are using NumPy for the first and last time in this assignment. So we had to select all the data types that had a number in it. It's either float or int or double, anything. So we'll be looking at that. So only the range and the value have float values, else all of the other ones are objects or string character values. So that was my submission for assignment 3, lab exercise for applied data science. Thank you.